That's a big one. That's a big one. Stay hooked. Thank you, Lord. Look at that. One knocker in the face. That is a donkey. Hey guys, Bassmaster Elite Series champion Stetson Blaylock here with a little tackle tip for you. It's March, springtime of the year. Things are starting to come alive. And for me, you saw it in the Classic last year at Guntersville. The Speedin played a huge role in that tournament for me. Also, the Booyah Hard Knocker, or actually this is a one knocker, the one that I like to throw a lot. Just a red, you can tell reds and oranges are a key this time of year. But what I want to tell you and what I want to show you the way I do it is line size doesn't matter, the depths that the baits are going to run. What do I do? How do I know when to pick lighter line versus heavier line? Well, first of all, I was throwing, this is the Seaguar and B.A.S. 20-pound test. This is fluorocarbon. This is what I was throwing on the Speedin. And you say, why was you throwing such big line? Well, the way I look at it is, the Speedin is a cover bait. It is a bait that it's not necessarily a square bill type bait that you're going to want to flip at targets like rocks, go down rock banks. This is a bait that you're trying to fish stump flats, grass flats, fish it over cover. That's where I find it the most effective. And what I do is I wanted that bait to be in the grass but not digging in the grass. I want it to just hit the top of that grass. And at Guntersville in that particular event, the grass was 5 feet to the top, 6 feet in some areas. So if I threw it on 15 or 17, it seemed like I was having to work too hard to keep the bait up out of the grass. And if I got too far out, I wasn't getting any bites. So I went to 20-pound test, keeping that bait above the grass, was able to rip it free when it did get down in there, and 20-pound gave me the confidence that if I hooked a giant, I wasn't going to lose him. I could horse that fish, do whatever I needed to with that fish, flip them in the boat, and not have any issues. Reverse side of that is with the knocker, with a lipless bait, one thing that I like to do is fish it deeper. So even around grass, fishing drains, ditches, things like that, a lot of people will throw, well, they say, well, is 20-pound good? Yes, it can work. But what I've found, a lot of times if you're throwing bigger line, it's hard to keep that bait. Even though this is 3/4 of an ounce, it's hard to keep it down in the water column. And a lot of times this time of year, those bigger fish are staging out in the middle of those ditches, cuts, drains, things like that. So I'll go down to even 10-pound test. And you think, well, man, that's awful small. And it is. You have to retie often because you don't want to get frays in your line, things like that, working it around grass and cover. But you want to keep it and be able to keep it down in the water column. And I like to keep it on the bottom. I want it, you can see the nose of that one's roughed up a little bit. I want that thing getting beat up. I want it down there deep. I want it digging. And that lighter line makes it to where you have to use less effort. This is 12-pound. I stick with the Seaguar and B.A.S. A lot of people, they want to use mono or they want to throw it on braid. For me, the feel, the sensitivity, you get the best of both worlds with fluorocarbon. I think if you'll upsize on your square bill and your crankbaits this time of year and downsize on your lipless just to change the way you fish those in different water columns, I think you'll see a little more success. Give these tips a try, see what happens.